Hi there. This is CJ Golden over here. I want you to know that while that music is playing, not only am I bopping around to it, now I'm trying to think of words
Oh,
that we
you're
can
gonna write
fit
a
into it.
tune.
Yeah, we're gonna have to write. Yeah, we're gonna have to write the lyrics.
I'm always sitting here going like this too.
Yeah,
It's a fun little jingle. I think you
it really
We
is.
should write words to
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
we'll do that.
Maybe we can
Who's
have a contest.
who's?
A jingle contest.
We need a lyricist out there.
Yes.
How can we allow people? We're going to work on that, folks. How we can allow you to hear the jingle in its entirety whenever you want, if that's possible.
I don't know.
I
But
think so.
they can go back and listen to any of the previous shows. The jingle plays at the beginning.
That's true. There we go. And who are you, my dear?
Oh, who am I? I'm Wendy Green, and I am here with CJ for the Caregivers Bakery. And with all of you, we're so glad you're here. This is your time to sit back and relax, build this caregiving community, and learn from each other. So yeah. So CJ, I love the idea of the lyrics. I think that's fun.
Yeah.
But I will figure that out. But I wanted to talk to you about my mom. You know, she's 92. Well,
Yeah.
she'll be 92 in June, and my stepdad will also be 92 in June.
June
They're
what?
both-
June what?
June 21st.
My
Is that-
birthday's the 20th.
Both cancers love that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But they're still driving, which makes me a little nervous. But mom has really developed a love, and I have to say it's a love for Instacart. Since the pandemic, she learned how to do Instacart, so she didn't have to go out and buy her groceries.
Good.
But now Don, my stepdad, wants to go to the grocery store. He likes to go out and walk around the grocery store. So I'm just curious, like, did you make some adjustments at home during the pandemic that you are still in love with, like my mom is with Instacart?
No, not that I'm in love with. I made adjustments. I did not go to the supermarket, of course. I tried Instacart twice. The first time, the gal who did the shopping for me was phenomenal. She took photos, when I asked for something in the frozen section, she took pictures of everything else that was there that, because what I wanted wasn't there. And here's the next time I used Instacart, somebody else did the shopping for me.
Yeah.
Not as good.
Yeah.
And then I reached out we have Newtown Neighbors Unite, our Facebook page, and I reached out and I said, who would like to go shopping for me? But it's a job. It's not just you're running out now for the little old lady in town. And this wonderful, wonderful college student, her mom reached out to me, and she was my absolute joy. And I would tell her there every week I want to get flowers, and she got flowers for me, and it was wonderful. I miss that because this morning I had to race out to the store.
Yourself. I know, we get spoiled, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we got very comfortable being home, and so it's interesting.
Yeah.
So hi, Kathy. Kathy's out here. She likes having fun, she says. So
she sure does.
Kathy, are you going to help us with lyrics? Maybe so.
She could. She's very musically inclined.
I remember that.
She's a
So CJ,
yes.
Can you tell our guests, our listeners, how they can reach out to get the recipe ahead of time? And we had a fabulous sweet spot yesterday, so I don't want them to miss that again.
Yeah. If you missed the sweet spot, it was phenomenal. Kate Washington was with us again. You might have seen her here on the Caregivers Bakery several weeks ago. If you would like to have the recipes in advance, because Wendy and I and our guest of the week love munching on the foods that we make. This morning I made, I got to show it.
Go ahead.
This morning I made these. I won't tell you anything about them until our guest comes on. But I had 2 for breakfast.
Oh, good. It's got protein in it.
There's a lot of protein in there.
Mm-hmm.
All you need to do is reach out to me at authorcjgolding@gmail.com. I will put you on our mailing list, and I will send you, or Wendy will send you, the recipe in advance so you can make it and have the party with us. And we're going to start making this a party, Wendy.
It is a party.
Well, it is a party. It is absolutely a party.
Yeah.
Also,
Murray.
when you're all, yeah, I apologize. Somebody's at the front door who I did not expect.
Murray.
Everybody say hello to Murray.
Hi, Murray.
When you reach out to me and when you have us put you on our mailing list, you are being part of our growing community of the Caregivers Bakery. You are lining yourself up to get inside information, to get outside information, to get information. Kathy Truesdale just posted woof. You're being a proactive part of the community, and this is what we're building here. So reach out to me. I'll send you the recipe. You'll be part of the community even more than you are now. And now.
And also chat like Kathy's doing and share with your friends. So in the chat box, you can say the ampersand, like at CJ Golden, and it will say to her on her Facebook page, oh, you should watch this. Even if she can't watch it live now, she can still watch the recording. So share, share, share.
Yes, yes, yes. It's time, though, to share.
Is it
time? Yeah, it's over. Goodbye. It's done.
All right.
It's time to share today's guest. I love this woman. I truly do. Her name is Linda McCaffrey. Hi, Linda. She lives far away from me, which is a shame. She was caregiver to her mom, even though her mom did not live with her. So it's one of these traveling back and forth to take care of your mother things. While she was working in a full-time corporate position, Linda has a passion for being healthy and active. She was the leader of a Sierra Club hiking. She was a former Sierra Club hiking leader. That's what I meant to say. She loves to travel. She enjoys yoga daily. She's a practitioner of mat Pilates. She exercises every day. She lifts weights. This woman is 103, and you'd never know it.
You look fabulous, Linda, for 100.
Thank you. Thank you for that.
Yeah, wow. I feel like a real slouch, but you are the guest, Linda. So let us know a little bit about you. Tell us a little bit about the work you were doing before your retirement.
Right. Okay. Well, hello, everybody. So I was in corporate administration, and the first part of my career took me, took me around the world, so to speak, and living out of suitcases and just very, very busy traveling. I didn't stay in one place for a long period of time. Managing very important gentleman. He was also a politician and chairman of a holding company. So it was very busy. And the second part of my corporate career, again, I worked for, a large Fortune 500 company. And I managed also a private family foundation. So I had a lot of responsibility.
Yeah.
And I worked the latter part of my career, I worked pretty much on my own in an office. And, I got used to doing that. So, but again, having not a lot of spare time on my hands.
Yeah.
Well, without spare time,
Mhm.
it kind of makes it difficult
Correct.
to be a caregiver.
Correct.
And those of you out there who are in this position, work, career,
Mhm.
caregiving, and
Exercise.
caregiving and exercise. Yes, well, yeah, exactly. Um, Linda, did your mother live with you? Would that have been easier or less easy or
No,
what?
well, she lived approximately 25 miles one way.
Mhm.
Wow.
So without traffic, because I live in the Southern California area,
Huh.
without traffic, about half an hour, I could get there quickly. With traffic, a lot longer. But so she didn't live with me. I don't know that it would have been easy to have her live with me because she was very difficult. Uh, and she liked to be on her own, so that would have been a little bit difficult.
So
But
what were some of her symptoms, Linda? What was actually wrong with your mom?
well, she had a lot of allergies for many, many years, what we thought was allergies. And finally, when she was diagnosed, she had a tumor on her thymus gland. So it was a thymoma tumor, and that happened to be cancerous.
Mhm.
So, it took a lot of doctor's appointments to determine that. Thymoma tumor is fairly uncommon. It was very rare here. So, we had to go through a lot of different doctors to actually be able to diagnose what her problem was. And, but basically, thymoma cancer it's not a blood cancer, but it it wraps itself around your organs. It's a slow growing
Oh.
tumor that sort of wraps itself around organs, and it's very hard to detect.
But they did. How did you
It did.
how did you go about
Mhm.
the it's almost like being Sherlock Holmes,
Right.
finding the doctors who would be the best to diagnose and then
Mhm.
ultimately care for your mom.
Right. Well, first of all, she had the chest X-ray, and then they saw the tumor, and then the pulmonologist finally determined that what it was, sent her to an oncologist. That's basically when I stepped in when they found out she had a tumor. I stepped in to go with her, obviously, to the oncologist appointment. The oncologist here had never seen a thymoma tumor, and unfortunately, a lot of the doctors hadn't um, come across that with their patients. So it was textbook at this point. But we followed the procedure. She had to have all kinds of PET scans, MRIs, and then general surgery. They go in and do a sternotomy to remove the tumor, and it was determined that um, they couldn't get the entire tumor. It was attached to her heart wall.
Oh.
So what they could take, they did. Um, and then it was a month in the hospital, in the cardiac care ward, and then a month in rehab. And so that's when my caregiving actually started, um, you know, going back and forth to the hospital, going back and forth to the nursing home, the care home, and then I decided to take her out of the care home and bring her home to her own house um, for recovery. The diagnosis on that, by the way, was 6 months to 6 years to live. And they go by stages, stage 1 to 4, and she had stage 4. And she lived 9.5 years.
Wow.
It was pretty
So
amazing.
so she lived in her own home the whole time, Linda?
She lived in her own home the entire time. She was very strong. She didn't want to go anywhere else. She didn't want any help. Um, so yeah, she was actually doing quite well once she came out of the hospital and rehab. But we were following doctor's orders. I was going back and forth with her. I had to learn everything I could about thymoma. I contacted Mayo Clinic. I contacted Johns Hopkins. They have professionals that are specialists in that field. So I was able to learn quite a bit about that. And we just went from there.
I just don't know how you did it. I'm sorry, CJ, but
That's okay.
with you working full time
Right.
and she not accepting additional help,
Right.
how did you manage this?
Well, she was very strong, but I was tethered to my cell phone at the time, and I managed to go ahead and get my work complete. But again, if I called her and I felt like as if she wasn't breathing properly or she wasn't that coherent, I got in my car, rushed over, drove the 25 miles. Sometimes I had to, take her to the hospital, bring her home, go back to work. So I was really juggling, doing all of that and caring for her.
And the people for whom you worked at that time,
Mhm.
was that the Private Family Foundation at that point?
Yes, and they were very accommodating to my schedule, as long as I got everything complete, and as long as I, because I basically worked on my own for quite a long time. So as long as I brought work home, I was doing all hours. I was doing work all hours,
I bet.
and trying to take care of myself at the same time. I was trying to keep up my exercise routine. So maybe 5:20 in the morning, I was at the door of a gym, trying to get in a class before I could shower and then get to work, and then still be on call for my mom when she needed me.
What was involved in your exercise routine? I know
Um,
this, everybody. Wait till you hear this.
well, I was at weights, yoga, mat Pilates, and a lot of abs. I'm an avid hiker, so also trying to get in my daily walks or quite lengthy hikes on weekends. But again, I was always tethered to that cell phone to make sure I could drop whatever I was doing and run to take care of my mother as needed. And as the time passed, she needed more and more help. And I was really running back and forth quite a bit. And at that point, staying over, getting up at 5:30 in the morning to try to beat the traffic to get to work, so I wouldn't get stuck in the freeway traffic.
Wow, Linda, that's amazing. And, on this show, we've talked a lot about self-care, which sounds like you really
Mhm.
worked hard on that. I'm wondering if you had backup help, though, anybody that you could call if you weren't able to get to your mom.
I had one or two of my mom's friends were very helpful for me. A neighbor was helpful, but I was the primary caregiver for her. I seem to have just taken on that role. I never thought I would have to do something like that. No one knows that, when this happens, and you just do it. You find a way to do it. I was learning as much as I could about her meds. I was learning as much as I could what to look for. If she was going downhill, if her blood pressure spiked to 260, so there was a lot for me to learn. But again, I had to make sure that I took care of myself at the same time. It was very stressful, and also make sure that I was able to work the full-time job for all those years.
How many years did this overlap? The full-time job and your mom's illness?
It was the entire time. It was the nine and a half years.
Wow.
Yes, that she had her illness. Mm-hmm.
So do you think the exercise helped you stay sane? I guess I'm just, like, what was the positives of that? Getting up so
Yes.
early and staying with that.
Yes, I think exercise, I've always been interested in exercise. Exercise for me, I enjoy it. So for a lot of people, it's a chore. I actually like it. I mean, it's just, I'm still doing it now. I'm retired and I still have a full plate of exercise. Even during COVID, you find ways to do that. But it kept me sane. I mean, it was a relief for me. I mean, even just to go for a walk for 2 hours, and just be out in nature, that's a simple walk. I could just zone out and regroup,
And it's interesting because people, and I know you heard this as well, I'm sure, take care of yourself, dear, but then we don't know how to take care of ourselves. Um, and you're saying that, that going for a walk for 2 hours. Now, when my husband was in the hospital, I didn't get it. I didn't understand that take care of yourself business. And if I went out for a walk for 15 minutes, I felt I was abandoning him.
Right.
I know so much more now, obviously. You intuitively knew that you had to do that for your own health, mentally and physically and emotionally.
Yes, it's very important, to keep that up, because if I couldn't fall apart. I had to be strong, for my mother and for myself. Basically, if something had happened to me, then
Right.
it would have been detrimental for her. But
Yeah.
so it's really important, and I don't think people understand that.
And Doris is saying Happy Earth Day, ladies. And I think
Yeah.
with
Happy
all
Earth
of the
Day.
talk about the outdoors and the Sierra
Mhm.
Club and stuff, I mean, that's
Yeah.
been, I guess, even before your mom got sick, that was an important part of your life.
Yes, I enjoy leading Sierra Club hikes and into the mountains, high mountains. That's what I prefer. Some strenuous hikes, and a 10-mile hike was, on a Saturday or a Sunday was a nice a nice walk. So
Nice walk in the
it's a good
woods.
stress relief. So it's nature, and
Yeah.
that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't
So-
do that anymore. I used to be able to.
Well, I can't run and jog and climb anymore, but I can still walk. And
I can't do 10 miles, though. Can
no,
you do
no,
10
that
miles?
doesn't mean that I do, yes, 10 miles at all.
Yeah.
So, okay. So if somebody were to ask you, Linda,
Mhm.
if one of our community here would say, okay, I have a full-time job, I'm caring for my mother, this exercise business isn't gonna, it what is the word that you give to that person to let them know that even if it isn't a 10-mile hike,
Well, they can
to keep
meditate.
themselves sane?
They can meditate. They can sit in a chair, put their hands in their lap, and they can meditate for 5 minutes. They can just be very quiet, be very still, and try to calm their mind. I mean, that's something that they can do. They can be in bed, and before they get up, they can stretch their legs. They can work out that way. It only takes maybe 5 or 10 minutes. If they're in front of the TV watching news, um, well, I might pick up weights, not waste the time, but they can stretch. They can bend down and reach their toes. They can just go out to the mailbox or walk around the block. It doesn't have to be anything strenuous, but just to be at one with themselves for a little bit.
Yeah,
I
I think
love-
that's great advice.
I love the way you say that, at one
Yeah.
with yourself and at
Great
one with
advice.
nature.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's fabulous. And somebody is saying, Lori is saying, sometimes it's easier to fit everything in when you're busy. I was much more scheduled when I was working and caregiving. And
Interesting, huh?
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, sometimes it's true.
So
Sometimes
Linda,
it's
thank you.
true.
That's,
Thank you,
I think,
ladies.
the most important lesson that we can give to other caregivers, and ways to help us care for ourselves.
So
Yes.
should we talk about nut butter
I
cookies?
think we should talk about nut butter cookies.
I'm going to show the recipe.
Okay.
Y'all see it?
Okay. So, nut butter cookies.
Yay.
Wow. Okay. They are so good. They're healthy, which usually means to me they're not good, but these are really delicious. And I will tell you, as you make this recipe, if you look at the fourth ingredient down, it says 1 flax egg. I did not know what that meant. I thought it meant mixing an egg with flax and warm water. Linda told me that no, that's a flax egg, a tablespoon of flaxseed to 3 tablespoons of water.
Correct.
I couldn't find my flaxseed this morning. I used an egg. I did not have the dates in the house. I will do that next time. Easy, quick, healthy, healthful, and 2 of them were my breakfast this morning.
So tell us what
Why'd
made
you
this.
choose this?
Yeah.
Well, this is very, I'm not a baker, and so I needed something to satisfy me, and it has plenty of protein in it. As you can see, you can use any kind of a nut butter that you like. But it's very quick, which is, what I needed to have, and something that is a little bit sweet, and again, very healthy. So a friend of mine actually gave me this recipe, and takes 20 minutes to make it, easy, and it's delicious.
It really is.
And I
Thank you.
think,
Thank you.
yeah, and I think
Thank
easy
you.
is so important to
Yeah,
caregivers
that's,
because, right, was who has time,
yeah, that's,
especially if you're
That's it.
adding in all that exercise, Linda.
well, if I ate this whole batch, I'd have to increase my exercise. Big time. Linda, thank you for being with us. Thank you for your pearls of wisdom. Thank you for your recipe. Folks out there, I will be posting this recipe on our Facebook page as soon as we say bye-bye. And remember that you can always email me to get the recipe in advance. If anyone has any questions or wants to speak with Linda, you can email me. I will get that question or comment to her, authorcjgolden@gmail.com. And let me tell you about next week. Next week we have, because there is a next week. Next week we're going to be meeting with, where is it?
Elaine Barlin.
Barlin. Oh my gosh. A woman who was caregiver to her husband, Mel, from the time of his stomach cancer diagnosis. And let me tell you, she got her PhD in nursing through that. It's amazing what she did. She will share her life as a caregiver, but mostly she will tell us how blogging kept her sane. Linda, while you were lifting weights, Elaine was lifting a pen or a computer. And she'll share some of the caregiving blog sites that are out there. There are some. They are wonderful. They teach us a heck of a lot. And remember, you can get Elaine's recipe in advance. We know what it is. We're not going to share it with you until you email me at authorcjgolden@gmail.com or email Wendy at heyboomer.biz. Wendy at heyboomer.biz. And it's a dynamite, another wonderful recipe.
Another delicious
So,
recipe.
thank you everybody for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you for joining us today. My name is Wendy Green, and you are?
Oh, I just lost my sound. Here we go.
Can you hear us now?
I got it now.
Okay. So my name is Wendy Green, and you are?
I am CJ Golden. And remember, please, that we know that caregiving is not a piece of cake. Let us help you find the sweet spot. And thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Linda, thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Linda.
you.
Wendy, bye-bye.
Bye.